Hey, Matt. It just started raining. Let me know if y'all can hear over that rain. It was so pretty, and then it just now it started raining. I'm good. We went on the boat and water this morning, and I am good. How are y'all? And now we're about to get ready for football. That is a Southern thing. Good. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Okay, let me know if y'all can hear, because like I said, it just started raining and I have a lot of stuff outside and I don't really want to move inside. And no, I'm not being rained on. I'm in my outdoor living space. Okay, I am just going to address some things because I am laughing so hard. I mean, I don't think I've laughed this hard in a long time. Because, I mean, I just can't. I mean, the title is Southern versus ignorant. You know, there's this thing that goes around in the South. You know, people that don't live in the South think people from the South are just ignorant people. That's just what people think sometimes. And I just wanted to clear up some things. But when doing that, I wanted to let you know that there are people in the South that don't live like some of these things that you'll see on social media and other avenues. And of course y'all can make, everybody makes fun of some things in the South, but and we in the South, of course, are used to it. But as a Southerner, when I see things that are going on in the South, and I see a lot, but when I see things, sometimes I have to explain to people the difference between Southern and ignorant, because there is a huge difference. And being raised in the South, born in the South, not always in Alabama, I talk about this a lot. And it's kind of, the thing is, my parents raised us to be, my dad always told us, you're in the South, and there's a stereotype of the South, but some of the Southern things are fun, and some of the Southern things are, there's a heritage about it. But he raised, especially his girls, he would always say this: I want y'all to be able to sit at a presidential dinner or sit in the most juked out honky tonk, is what he would call them. He called them honky tonks in the South. So, and I think he achieved that. There's something to be said about being a little versatile, but I think education comes from part of it. And if you stay ignorant, then you will stay in the Southern stereotype. That's just how it is. I mean, but I just wanted to let y'all know that not everyone in the South thinks that if they live in a county their entire lives, that means that they don't, they can commit crimes, they can do whatever they want to, and they're untouchable, or nobody can touch me. No, that's not really how it works. That's a mentality of the ignorant, and it's seen a lot in the South. A lot in the South. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk on here about a lot of racial things, and I'll be the first to tell you that my children do not equate anyone by their skin color, and they never have since they were little, even elementary school age. It was never an appropriate thing, ever. But again, I was raised a little bit different. Even my mom and dad, because they were professional people as well, they did not allow that to occur in our home. And the reason is this, because their hopes for us was not that we would be stuck in some southern rural county, and I wasn't even in a rural county in the South, but for the rest of our lives, that we would be able to travel, we would be able to live wherever we wanted to live, and be accepted and be intelligent and be able to hold a conversation and not be part of the stereotypical Southern ignorance. So I love the South. The South is my home. It always has been my home. But I always try to tell people that, yes, there are some stereotypes, and yes, people do live the way some of you see and laugh and think that people in the South live. I'll share a funny story with you. When I first went off to college, it was in a town that was actually, and it was South Florida, and I was not there at college, but one of my best friends was there in South Florida in college, and the first time I went to visit, I was at another college, and the first time I went to visit her, because she was at a college on the beach, so of course we all went there, the students there from all over the world literally asked if we had outhouses and those kind of things. And so, you know, as soon as I was old enough to start thinking about the stereotypes in the South, I did so. And there are a lot of them. And I've noticed you can get on this little box and see some Southern things going on. And, you know, they put a whole new level to, we don't hide our crazy, we prop them up on the front porch, back porch, whatever, you know. And I'll be honest with you, you know, I am in a realm where if it is that type of, you know, just bizarre behavior and what we call crazy in the South, I'm not usually in a situation where there's not somebody that's not ignorant like that that's telling them to just stop. Like, just, I don't think you should talk anymore. I mean, but that's just me. So I have some things that some things that have happened that I want to hit on. And these are some things that have been said. These are some things that have been said, and this was just today. I had to ride from the lake home, and I was not driving, and I took notes, and literally, I could not stop laughing out loud. Literally laughing out loud. Because if you ever listen to this and you actually write it down or look at it and think, why would somebody ever think that this makes them look anything but ignorant? I mean, and I don't understand it. And so I watch it and I think, how can someone think that this behavior is not even normal, just is I think I'll hit this button and say, I'll do whatever I want. Da, da, da. It is the epitome of Southern ignorance. The only thing worse could be if it was, Billy Bob with a t-shirt on that doesn't cover his stomach, and he's doing it. But in the South, we find that sometimes women do it just like the men. And it doesn't matter because it's just an ignorance. That's it. So, some things that I just laughed. Laughed. So I wanted to share. I don't know if y'all have seen these or not, but these are some Southern Periscope ignorant quotations that came straight from this box today. And for a second I thought, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. The South is me, blah, blah, blah. But I've been through this my entire life. So most people realize that it's just, there are ignorant people in the South. There are ignorant people everywhere. But when you take an ignorant Southern person, some people might say redneck, some people might say this. But when you take that person and give them just a free platform to just run their mouth, you get a lot of comedy. A lot of comedy. Jeff Foxworthy made a fortune off just Southern comedy, and what people would say is redneck comedy. And it's funny. It is funny. So I'm gonna start, and I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as I did, because I just couldn't. Let's see. I will dog your, and I'm going to say the cuss words, and let me say this. I'm not saying these cuss words because I want to say cuss words. They're just part of the quotes. I will dog your ass every day. That was a quote that was said today. I will show you what stalking is, bitch. Okay, that made me laugh out loud. Your husband's family can't stand your ass, so let's go dig up his family too. That was pretty funny. They were saying somebody has come out from the family, and if this person didn't shut up, they were going to put this family member out. Guys, who does that? Well, I have found that Southern ignorance is part of this. Of course, they say things. This was a quote too, because information is being fed. Okay, what does an ignorant redneck Southern person mean by information is being fed? I'll give y'all one guess. Y'all guess. If somebody knows what that means, you can go ahead and put it here. Let's see if anybody knows what that means. Because I'm interpreting the Southern ignorance for you. Because I don't want anybody on this box to be out there going, is this real? Because guess what? It's pretty real. So, what do y'all think that when the Southern woman, the Southern 50-year-old woman and her posse, when they say information is being fed, what does that mean? Does anybody know? Okay, I'll tell you. What that means is they have Googled everything there is to know about you, but they got it all confused. So they call that information. And then they use social media because, they didn't have social lives in probably anywhere in their lives before now. So they use social media and they share that information. So that would be what they mean by information is being fed. Okay, and then there was something that was funny. Somebody said something, they meant to say Labor Day, they said Memorial Day. So, you know, the ignorance from the South wants to, oh my God, I got something now. So I got to talk about that. They have to talk about that. Well, and when they're talking about this, about how stupid someone else is and making fun of someone else, they say, because I'm going to call, they're talking about police precincts. They say, I'm going to call Pacola County. Okay, well, Pacola is not a county, sweetheart. Pacola is a town. And so I know Google might not tell you that every time, but you know, I'm just trying to help you out. That's it. Let me see what's on here. Oh, because you better shut the fuck up because you got more skeletons in your closet. Okay. That's Southern ignorance. That would be a non-educated, Southern, ignorant fool. I'm going to say it one more time. You better shut the fuck up because you got more skeletons in your closet. Okay. So. And this kind of ties in because what I'm telling you is I can be as Southern and as redneck because my daddy raised me that way. I can be that way, or I can be sitting in the White House at a presidential dinner. And there you have the difference between the two. There are some Southern people that have never been outside their county limits. There are some Southern people that have never been outside the state that they reside in. So what happens is when you do not travel and you're not well versed, and the furthest you have ever been is to the Redneck Riviera in Florida, that's what we call that. You know, that whole Panama City, you know, all that. We call that the Redneck Riviera. So, because we went there when we were in high school and college because it was cheap. But when we got out and got jobs and started living our lives, we didn't hang out at the Redneck Riviera anymore. But there are some ignorant Southern people that still do. And it's quite entertaining. And I'll say again, if you don't want to be somebody's entertainment, then don't be the entertainment. I mean, it's not complicated. So, we did the skeletons in the closet. Oh wait, this was a good one. I'm tired of your, and I'm not going to say this word because I don't like it, but I'm tired of your GD mouth. I dare you to say something to me. Okay, who says that? And then proceeds to say that their 9-year-old daughter could do well in this realm of doing the same thing. Well, again, that would be Southern ignorance because most people in the South, don't want their children to be tied to that Southern ignorance. So what we do is we don't teach them that. They laugh about it on YouTube and everywhere else, just like everybody else does. So you have those kind of children, and then you have the children that are actually the ones on the YouTube videos with their mamas and daddies. And that's just how it works. Okay. I already touched on this, but this was the actual quote. Do these people think how long you live in a town? You know, I lived here for 48 years. Nobody can touch me in this town. Okay, really? That would be Southern ignorance. Because Southerners that are proud of their heritage and are not ignorant, that have lived in the same place for about, maybe 50 years. There are a lot of Southerners that have lived in the same place for 50 years that don't have that ignorant mentality. Okay, so here's another one. Actually, I don't know if I have any more quotes. These are just my this is just my commentary. Those were just like some of the funny quotes. But I have some commentary, which is okay, I don't think this is Southern ignorance again. And this is just, it is a stereotype of the South, but what you find in the South is some of those stereotypes do exist. And that's what I'm explaining to you. And I think y'all have seen it. But when someone says, and I think this was the quote, "You don't have shit." Okay. I can't do it without laughing. When you scream at somebody else, first of all, you're not even in front of them. I mean, but Southerners do this to people face to face. It's quite entertaining too. But and I know if y'all live somewhere else, y'all are like, well, we have our own, y'all have your own. I mean, it's just a different type of ignorance. And this has nothing to do with social status. This has nothing to do with anything. It is just pure ignorance. This is passed on from generation to generation to generation, and no one ever breaks the cycle of Southern ignorance. So, but don't say, "You don't have shit," as you only have one vehicle in a 2-adult household. Because, see, Southern ignorance causes a lot of financial problems, too. That's just how it is. I mean, And, you might have Southern ignorance if you have to have a raffle to raise $380 to supplement your Medicaid. I mean, these are real things, people. These are real Southern ignorant things. It happens. And it is cyclical. I mean, it goes in a cycle, and it goes from generation to generation. By God, my son was in prison, and I am in love now. He has seen the light. Those are Southern things. Those are Southern things. The Southern people that are not and do not live that way would probably say, "I'm so proud of my son. I wish him well, and I'm always here for him." There's a difference between that and "I love him. He did his time." See the difference? See, there's a difference. So, because it's not something that it's not a prideful thing. So let's see what else. Let's see what else I got, because I might be going back to, because I was actually just jotting this down. That's not it. Oh, here's another one. After the "I'm gonna whoop your ass," or "I'm gonna beat your ass," or "shut the fuck up," those kind of things that scream Southern ignorance. This was one, and this is a quote that I got too. I got this quote: "I'll have you crying in the corner." I mean, I can't. and then being prideful that your youngins could stand their own in that same kind of conversation. I mean, you just, I just can't. I can't. Well, it's not, Pam, it's not sad, and that's what I'm trying to explain. It's not sad. It is a mentality, and these people live, and they they just live, and it's not sad. It's just because the reason it's not sad is because they don't know any different. Yeah, and I will say this. I saw it. Okay, first of all, just because you're 70, and I'll say this about the Southern people. I don't know how everywhere else it is, but we don't automatically assume that when somebody is about 70, it's the nursing home age. In fact, in the South, we are very prideful in taking care of our parents, and usually, if it's not some kind of Southern ignorant statement, most Southerners will do whatever it takes to keep their parents with them. I mean, that's just how we were raised, right? And you're doing it right now up north, and a lot of people do, and it's very respectable. It's very, but to say somebody's 70 years old and it's time for the nursing home, yeah, that's supposed to be a compassionate, healthcare worker. So I'm just going to read for just a second. Okay, then this comment was made. I can't. It was something to the effect of how they're going to put this stuff out, and it's not going to be NJ doing it. I'm going to do it because it'll go a lot further if I do it. Okay, from what? 300 people to 700 people. And I found that that's the Southern ignorance on this little box. And I don't think that people can grasp how many people can grasp how many people there are on social media, and to think that 700 people that you're sharing something with, it puts you in some kind of league of your own, is probably Southern ignorance. Just saying. Okay, I'm going to go back. I think this is my favorite. I will show you what stalking is, bitch. Okay, that's my all-time favorite. I mean, that was my favorite from today. I don't know if y'all have favorites, but that was my favorite from today. Okay, now I'm just going to talk about some other things that happened, because I watched a video that was done by good old Lion Justin. And he told a story. I know that's a shocker. But in his anger, because he was angry. I mean, he was angry. Like screaming angry. He said, he was talking about me. And he said that he was on the phone with me. And first of all, that's not true. And that my teenage son, came home drunk, and that I had to show him to his bedroom, and that maybe, just maybe, CPS needs to visit my house. Okay, for those of you that are outraged over the whole, how about let's call CPS over people, as they blame me for doing it. I would appreciate if you take your little voice right over there and say, well, why are you doing that? But let's tell the story straight first. NJ called me, and right when the phone rang, my son, who, by the way, I'll say this is my 19-year-old son that he wants to portray that's like a minor. He's not a minor. My 19-year-old son was coming in the door, and I spoke to him, and I mean, we probably talked for like a minute, and NJ was still on the phone. And then he went upstairs, and then I opened the door, or I went back to lock the door, and NJ was talking, and I looked outside, and his friend's truck was still outside. They had gone wherever they were together. So I called him back downstairs, and I said, where, and I'm just going to say Jay. I said, well, where is Jay? And this is also another 19-year-old. And he said, well, I was the designated driver. He drank, so I'm not taking him home, but he's upstairs asleep. And I said, okay, does his mother know that he is here and everything's okay? And he said, yes. And I said, okay, good night. Love you. Now, that story was twisted into my son, who he tried to make people believe was a minor, came home, and I had to get him to his bedroom because he was intoxicated. That is the kind of lying nonsense that these people come up with. Because, by the way, I'll go ahead and tell you, I mean, my son, you know, what he does, but, you know, and again, that might be Southern ignorance. Because the people that don't suffer from that in the South, we teach our children to be responsible. We are not stupid enough to believe that they are not going to be young adults. But, you know, if my son says I was the designated driver and his friend drank and he doesn't want to drive him home, meaning because it's like 30 more minutes, he's just going to spend the night here, I take that as a proud parenting moment. So, if anybody on this little box thinks that that's a CPS issue, you know, I don't even know what to say except laugh. But the way it was twisted and lied is still not, because he is an adult. And guess what, Justin? I do the same thing with the 16-year-olds. Because guess what? My plan is for me not to always be there and for them to be responsible. I know that's hard to understand. God, I know it's hard to understand. You know, but I'm also the mother of teenagers where I don't have to share their teacher's notes talking about how well they're doing on social media. Might be Southern ignorance. Because, to me, that is more of a common theme than a non-common theme. It's rarely that I get anything from their teachers that is not positive. So, as a mother, I do not have to boost my self-esteem by sharing the actual teacher comments online on social media to try to impress someone. So, you might be ignorant if you feel you have to do that. So, that was my thought on that. And yes, he did do that. Oh, and then it was, I think the good old wifey pops in and says something about, says that I am on drugs. Meaning me. So, I laughed. Because you don't live in my realm and do the things that I do and even think about drugs. And if I did, I don't think that I would have responsible teenagers in my household. So, is it hard to have teenagers? Absolutely. Do they make mistakes? Absolutely. That is a time in their life where you are to pick them up and hope that the mistakes are not disastrous, and be there and guide them. It is not a time for you to say that you can't watch their football game because you can't stand to see the hits. Because by the time your boys are like mine in high school and playing high school football, the mamas like the hits. The harder the hits, the better. That's just how that works. Because if you're not hitting, then you're not playing. That's just how that works. And so maybe it's because, you know, your children grow up doing certain things, and so it just becomes normal to you. I have a daughter that is 16 years old and literally 103 pounds soaking wet. And that little thing plays fast pitch softball and with 18 and 19-year-olds, and stands in that box just like the rest of them, and has never been afraid. And I am proud of her for being able to do that. And also proud of my boys because they stand on their own as well, with me guiding them now. And hopefully by the time they're about 22, 25, they won't need me even to do that, is my goal. But I think that I may be a little different than some of this mentality going on here. So, okay, the other point. I got off track. The other point, right, ignorance breeds ignorance, and hate breeds hate. With everything that goes on race-wise in this country, we can only blame hate that has bred hate and ignorance that has bred ignorance. So, and when a child talks about another child with a descriptive term of what color their skin is, that is hate that has bred hate. No other ways around it. Because children don't learn that on their own. And I will say this will really tick Justin off. You know, what is he jealous? Are they jealous? I can't help it that I can afford for my children to go to a private school that is $15,000 a year apiece, and there's 3 of them. So I say that to say, Mr. Turner, if I don't work, it would be really hard for me to support these children. And so that might be jealousy, but on the same note, they are not by design, because I did not want to breed hate, and we are in the South. They are not in a private school that is strictly their own race, because it's very important to me as a mother to raise children that are diverse in their thinking. Not necessarily diverse in anything else, but just diverse in the way they think. And also to be able to travel all over this world and have intelligent conversations with people. Because there is a lot of world out there, folks. A lot. And for mine, I hope that they see most of it. So I think there is a lot of jealousy going on, and that's fine. But you know, I can't help it. I cannot help it. Okay, this was the other thing that was said by somebody else and that I had to address. And this was kind of a Southern comment too, because it is a Southern state. She said, anytime I see a child's picture as a profile picture, I'm calling the police. I don't care where it is, all over this country. Okay, well, that's a little bit of Southern ignorance, because, and I'll just explain to that, I can't, about social media. If you choose to put your children's pictures on social media or anywhere that in public, and somebody takes that picture and they do something with that picture, doesn't matter what it is. I mean, as they put it somewhere, they put it on their computer, they make it their screensaver, they make it their, as long as it's not any type of perverted anything, then you can't do anything about it. And that goes back to what I said, I think, yesterday. If you don't want it to happen, then don't put it on social media. There are plenty of adults in this country that have seemed to make it without any pictures of their children on social media. And so guess what? Those adults don't have to worry about that. And it's not a crime. So the thought of, if I see it, I'm going to call every police station in this country. Okay, that is a waste of resources, which brings me to my next comment. There was someone else, because boy, I was the topic of some conversation. I made a comment, I think yesterday, where I said that CPS, or social workers and CPS and state agencies, are not as busy as everyone thinks they are. So this little twit decides she wants to get online and say, I can't believe that comment was made. Okay, well, my question would be, when is the last time you worked with those social workers? What do you have that could form that opinion besides probably what you read on social media or that is shared on social media? So the reason I'm saying that is that wasn't Southern ignorance, but the ignorance in that statement, when you have no background, no anything, no personal knowledge whatsoever to form an educated opinion, and you think you're calling somebody out that does have an educated opinion, just have a seat in the front row is all I can tell you. I mean, it's ignorant. Because they are not. It is not like people think. So that's that. And while I'm on that subject, it was kind of funny yesterday when the poop show, because I'm trying not to cuss, the poop show happened for the past 48 hours, and it's just hysterical. The poop show happened for the past, 4 days, whatever. Everybody's seen it. And I said to myself yesterday afternoon, I said, ooh, Lord have mercy. I said, somebody is failing at their duties. Their marching orders, they're just not cutting it. And we saw that because they changed mouthpieces between each other at first. And then I thought to myself, oh, I bet the other mouthpieces will be back online tonight. And lo and behold, there they were, picking up the slack. We got to help them. We got to help them. We got to help them with their ignorance. That's funny. That is funny. And in that whole show, because I say show because it is entertaining, in that whole show, somebody says, I just can't believe this came out of her mouth. She says, and they say, you know, I don't know why they say, and then insert vape right there. We're going to wait a minute to insert the vape noise. Y'all know what that vape noise is. Insert the vape noise, and then she says, it's just like they said that I use my dog for pleasure. Okay. I spit my drink out. Because in normal people, even if some Looney Tune or somebody made that up about you, who would then repeat it about themselves? And it just flowed off so easily. It just flowed off that disability check tongue so easy. And then that kind of struck me too. I was like, well, God, you got to look at the source. That would be some Southern ignorance right there. Because, honey, please, you know, girls in the South learn this at a young age. When other girls talk about them and they say outrageous things, when you repeat it yourself, you sound worse than the person that said it to begin with sounds, because you're saying it about yourself. But oh, she was so proud. I mean, she was proudful to say that, and this is what they said about me. You know, whatever. It was funny. I mean, it was hysterical to me. Maybe my sense of humor is different, but you know, this is probably some of the best material that Jeff Foxworthy could ever have. You might be a redneck if you get online and say, they said about me that I sleep with my dog for pleasure. Think about that for a second. I mean, people pay a lot of money to hear this kind of comedy, but yet they get mad when you say it's entertainment. So, some of it is very much entertaining. Very, very much entertaining. Okay, then there was a video made, and I can't. So, the husband and wife and somebody, I don't even know who it was, get in a vehicle. And I think, I don't know if they said, we're going to go take the trash. We're going to go take the trash. Okay, so they're riding in this vehicle. And so I soon thought to myself, is this some Southern ignorance about to go do a drug deal right in front of me? Because what kind of family, husband, wife, get in the car to go take the trash? And then ride around in a circle and go back to your driveway. It was pretty entertaining. If y'all missed it, y'all should go catch it. And y'all need to start tagging comedians. I don't know if comedians are on this app, but y'all need to start tagging them, because, you know, and if any of y'all want to venture out and try it, there's a lot of good material about this Southern ignorance on here. So I went through that. I went through Mr. Turner. Oh, and then, oh my God, this made me laugh. So, fissin'. Fissin', that would be Southern ignorance. That's not an attractive Southern language. That is a ignorant Southern talk. There is a difference. So then probably, I mean, I've told y'all this was the funniest, that was the funniest, but then this happens. So then here comes the live button again, and it's all this anger and Southern ignorant anger and, you know, all this, oh yeah, I'll pop you too. What the, I mean, I'll pop you too. I'll pop my son, I'll pop my daughter, I'll pop my husband, and you come on up in here and you get popped too. I can't. Pop goes the weasel. Okay, so I mean, that was actually said. And you can, so I'll go ahead and do it because this was said. So here's another one out of that same little excerpt. You can't tell me who I can pop in my own house. You come in here, I'll pop you too. I pop him, I pop you, I pop him, I pop whoever I want to. This is my house. That would be Southern ignorance. So I hope that y'all are getting the gist of the difference between Southern ignorance and real Southern people. Because, you know, I have always hated the confusion. Being from the South, it has always bothered me. Okay, so then this comes. There's some kind of screaming, yelling, talking about you don't videotape this child, you don't. Okay, well, I don't know how many miles away she is from this particular situation, but she takes it upon herself to hit the live button and tell us all, I'll make you cry in the corner. Okay, you're talking to somebody that is miles and miles and miles away from you, and I don't think they really care. And I think it's probably laughter at this point. Nobody's crying in the corner. So that happened, and then she shared with us some information. I'm going to make you go cry in the corner. I'll pop you, I'll pop you, I'll pop you. I'll pop whoever I want to. You come around me, you'll get popped. Things are coming out on me. Look, whatever. I mean, I'm not on there. I'm talking about Southern ignorance. I don't know what, I mean, you know, since when can I not get on here and talk about the difference between Southerners and ignorant people in the South? Then I'll pop you again, you hear? Yeah, for real. Shut up, go to bed. Okay. I'm turning this on now. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. And again, the children, it just is what it is. I mean, and it's not sad because they don't know any different. It's just that's how they will live their lives as well. Never doing anything any different. Okay, so then she reveals, and I had to back it up and listen to it again. Apparently there was one of her besties, miles and miles away, is having a yard sale today. A yard sale. Okay, now, this is a couple that just, I don't know, not long ago, said that they sold everything they owned to go live on the top of a mountain. You can't make this up. And they didn't have anything, and that they're living in a hellhole because they had this problem on the mountain. Okay, so today they're having a yard sale. This is my question. What do they have to sell if they just sold everything that they own not too long ago? And they were homeless. And so then you kind of sort of rebuild. Cream of wheat. Are they selling the cream of wheat? Oh, no. You don't sell the cream of wheat. So you think, ding, 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 ding. That was my next question. So my next question is, we're going to have to take a poll, and everybody can hit their own live button. I want everybody to do this, and we'll see how many people participate. Hit the live button and just say a place or a person's name, because we know when the yard sales start happening and we start selling everything, that somebody's about to be moving. So I want everybody to hit the live button and just give it a second, and then say where you believe, over the pattern of the last 3 years, where you believe they will grift to next. New tires and all. So, that was my question. My question is, first of all, what did you have to sell? And second of all, maybe we can see the videos. Apparently there were some videos. So if anybody has those videos, put them up, please. I don't know what it was all about, but apparently there are some videos, and they were all Southern ignorant mad over that. So, when you put your stuff out on a cafeteria table in the parking lot in front of your dwelling, your abode, then and somebody videotapes it for laughter, that there's pretty not anything else you can do about that. That's just what happens. Because it's funny. Like I said, the entertainment value you cannot get anywhere else. But what I will say in that situation is, the one thing I do hope for children that are in these situations is that they can stop the cycle and come in contact with some type of educator or somebody that makes a big impact in their lives, where they realize that inside this county or inside these town limits is not all you have in life. Nor is just packing up the van and heading somewhere else. So, let me see what else I got. The yard sale is funny. I don't know. Do you sell your coffee maker? Is it a coffee maker? Is it, stuff you got out of the dumpster? Or, what's the yard sale? Entertainment. So, but it's the same Southern ignorance as I'll sell some piece of crap jewelry for a $20 raffle, and I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna move on over to Facebook, because I'm not getting what I need, which is apparently now 19 people, so that's $380. You might be an ignorant Southern person if you have to raffle for $380 and then talk about how much money you have. That's comic gold. Let me see. Oh, this was one other thing that I wanted to talk about. They need the gas. Oh, they need the gas. Oh, you don't share where you think that. Don't you share that? I said you got to hit the live button, and everybody, we're going to see where everybody thinks that the yard sale is going to take them next. So, for God's sake, can I get out of it? I mean, why they gotta come? Why they gotta? I mean, the South. I mean, oh, the poor South. We get the bad end. We get a bad rap all the time. Okay, this is one more thing that I had to discuss. Hey, Roll Tide. Did Alabama win? I didn't watch that game. No, I don't. You can say coordinates. I mean, they won't understand it, but you can say it. I guess they can Google it. You might want to give the definition of coordinates if you're giving that type of intelligence out on this box. Okay, there is somebody that I laughed hysterically because you hear a lot of, keep my name out of your mouth. Keep my name out of your mouth. Keep my name out of your mouth. Shut the fuck up. Okay, that would be Southern ignorance. This person is a Southern person as well. This is the same person that thought that police departments all over the country she needed to be the alert person for any child's picture that was taken off the internet and put somewhere else, because that's not against the law. It is also not really a concern. I mean, so since this person still wants to talk about me, because she was all in the comments last night running her mouth. It was funny. It was funny. This is what I have to say. Now I want you to understand, I specifically have told her to stop. And this is the same thing, you know, they talked about the obituary. She was in the comments last night, running her mouth. You know, I can't help it if you can't figure it out. I did tell you that I would tell you, but now it's gotten to be so funny that I'm not going to tell you. So figure it out. So, as she appears in this little box on the other Circus of Southern Ignorance show that was on all day today, she pops up in the box, and it is absolutely hysterical because she's literally shaking, like her voice is shaking. This is somebody that, and then she ends it with this strong voice of, I'll call every police department in this country. Okay, well, first of all, you probably already have with your track record. And second of all, why is your voice shaking? I mean, you know, spit it out. Be a big girl. You know, own what you did. And, if you want to call police departments all over this country or anywhere you want to call them, this little Southern ignorant darling can call wherever she wants and throw out her sheriff's name, because that sheriff is just about mortified. That's another Southern thing that happens, guys. You will find this with I don't know. Y'all tell me if this is if this is somewhere else except for just the South. But whatever this mentality is in the South and in these rural communities, everybody thinks they know the sheriff. Everybody always has the sheriff's name on their tongue. Every time they have to talk about something important, they throw that sheriff's name out there. Okay, well, everybody knows the sheriff because, you know, you're in rural bumfuck Egypt. So everybody knows him. And by the way, he's elected, so he makes it his business to make sure everybody knows him. So when you start spewing the fact that you know the sheriff, okay, you sound ignorant. That's Southern ignorance. That's rural Southern ignorance. So, well, of course you do. I mean, I bet there wouldn't be very many people on here that didn't know their name of their sheriff, because during election time, they're all over the place, and especially in extremely rural communities. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, everywhere you go, to the one gas station, to the grocery store, I mean, you're going to run into the sheriff. But this idea of, I've lived here 48 years. 48 years. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. Nobody. Okay, that's Southern ignorance. We already went through that, but it's the same thing. So, but what I find odd and what I thought with the shaking voice was, most Southern people, when they speak ignorance like that, they can just spit that sheriff's name out, and she seems a little timid when she does it. I wonder why. And by the way, if anybody wanted to know the sheriff's name, all they have to do is Google it. Yeah, I think that might be it. Maybe. I don't know if I had another piece, because I was writing this on whatever I had. I still think my favorite is, I will show you what stalking is, bitch. I'll have you crying in the corner. Oh my God. I can't. You know what else on that same topic? What the other thing that you'll find with Southern ignorance in the South is this. There are a whole slew of people from the Redneck Riviera, because when you get to South Florida, it is a whole different mentality. Because in South Florida, there are people from all over, everywhere. I mean, South Florida is a hodgepodge of all kinds of different people. And so you don't find the same these Southern stereotypes, which are actually true, outside the Panhandle and the Redneck Riviera generally. But usually past about Tallahassee, Florida. Once you get past Tallahassee, Florida, then you're in a whole different realm, even though Florida is a southern state. So, but this is what you find in the South. And I don't know if it's like this everywhere else, because I don't know if I've had this conversation with anybody. But it's always amazing to me how there's all these Southerners, because, we have our football, right? And football is big. And, we have the SEC. We have, there's nothing better, in my opinion, than the SEC. But it's hysterical to watch. It is absolutely hysterical to watch. Because there's no other, I don't think, and y'all tell me if it happens other places, but I don't think in like the Pac-10 and places like that. It might, I don't know. But in the South, you have this whole group of people. I mean, there are a lot of people that attended Southern universities, don't get me wrong. But there are this like hangback group when it comes to college football, where they just pick a school and they've really never even been in a classroom at that college, but yet they live or die for that university. That's always been amazing to me, and I've always called that Southern ignorance. Because how do you get so attached to a college or a football team if you have never, ever... And not only some of these people have never sat in the classroom, that's number one. I mean, most have not. But then you have the ones that have never even been there. they've never even been to that university. And they're out screaming, yelling, hooping, hollering, all that kind of. It's the most amazing thing. And I think that that's one reason why I like SEC football. Because I don't see that in other conferences as much. So, because it's nothing like a bunch of southern ignorance up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, on a football Saturday. I mean, and it's like when you go there. I'm going to try to explain this to you guys. When you go there, when you go to an Alabama football game with the heritage there is so strong with Bear Bryant and all, now with Nick Saban, and you go there and you literally have, like, you can see it. Like, you can see. And this is not just at Alabama, but you can see the people that actually have a tie to the university and the people that just grew up screaming and yipping and hollering. It's the most amazing thing. And it's not just Alabama. It's Auburn's the same way. LSU's the same way. Clemson. And I'll just share something with y'all and then I've got to go. But, because I have made it a point with my children, because I also thought it would be a good college tour type thing. But once they got a little bit older, since we are big football fans, they have been at every SEC stadium in the South. There's not one that they have not been to. Most of them they've been to several times. But it's a cultural thing. And it is absolutely amazing. And they see things in it. And even from young ages, it was like, well, why are they here? Did they go to college here? Did they, because, generally, for instance, like high school football games, you go to your high school football games and you don't generally go unless you have some kind of attachment to that school. So to see my children recognize cultural things like that is pretty amazing, and that's why we have done a lot of traveling in their lives, because to me the best education for them was to experience different cultures. And there's nothing like experiencing it instead of just looking at it in a textbook. And so for mine, I can only hope that they continue that. And I think that they will. I don't think that mine will ever be stuck in the city limits or the town limits or the county screaming a sheriff's name, if I can only hope. I mean, and I only say that because it is a Southern thing. And I just wanted everybody to know, there are Southern people that want different, that were raised different, that don't, I guess I can say, that don't act like that. And so, with that said, I can tell you that I was laughing right along with y'all, and I was just laughing. Because it's one thing to see Southern ignorance in the grocery store or at the gas station or traveling through the South, stopping, but when someone is actually on a rant where it happens, where it's over and over and over and over again, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Because when you experience it, and I don't know if y'all have been to the South, but when you experience it in the South, if it's at a gas station or at the grocery store or wherever it is, it's like done and then you leave. But this, it's continual. And so I started thinking about, I was like, the people that I saw, that I see that act like this, are they doing this continually? I guess they are. It's not just a one-time occurrence at the gas station or the grocery store. you know, and that's just all I have to say about that. I mean, let's have another 4-hour rant and another 4-hour put out and another, I was on drugs, so this time, what do y'all think I will be? CPS needs to come to my house, so this time, what do you think my punishment will be because I gave my opinion? Oh, we'll see. We'll see. But for God's sake, if you don't want to entertain me, then stop entertaining me. Now, the harassment part of it is a little different, but this entertainment portion just cracks me up. I mean, absolutely cracks me up. So, I guess it's another Southern ignorance thing. My children are gone for the weekend, so I'll sit on the patio and I'll hit this live button and tell everybody that I'm gonna pop them. If they don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna pop them too. I mean, did you wake up this morning and think that was gonna be your day? I'm just trying to understand. I'll pop you, I'll pop you, I'll pop you, and I'll pop you. Okay. Your family must be so proud. Okay. Okay, so we're going to end with a song. Does anybody want to say anything? I guess I'll look at the comments because this game has started and people are waiting on me. You've got nothing there? Well, I mean, I really thought that I was sharing some culture and some education. There are classes in college classrooms all across this country about our Southern culture. And these things are actually learned and studied. I mean, YouTube videos of it. I think that I should email them all and send these videos, and then they don't even have to look for their people to study anymore for this aspect of Southern culture, because it's all right here in front of us. I'm gonna pop you, I'll pop you, I'll pop you, and you shut the fuck up. I just can't. I can't. Come on. We gotta get this trash out. We gotta get this trash out of this house. We're gonna go for a stroll. We're gonna ride around the block. I was like, damn. Are we witnessing a daggum drug bomb? What? That's what it looks like when the family goes on a stroll. And then the whole yard sale thing, screaming at somebody that's miles away. I dare you. Oh, and what about this? You say this name. Okay, I'll say one more quote because I just thought of one. You say this name, you say this name, you say this name, you say this name. And me and NJ are going to come out and we're going to whip your ass. Or we're going to whatever. I'm like, what the heck? From the same person that thought it was just so cute for months and months and months to go Julie Himber, like she was some big Periscope queen. And let me tell y'all something. Oh, and I gotta say this. This was one more thing. Honey. Okay. The comment was made referring to me that I looked up I just can't. They're so dumb. Looked up penitentiary records in state. Okay, let me explain something to you. Every state, every single state has a website that is tied to their prison system where you can check the records. It's not NASA. It's not UFO information. It's not anything else except for public information. So, and you know what? Counties have them too. A lot of counties have inmate searches. So, but pretty much every state prison system has one. Yeah, oh no, that's a new concept apparently. That's something that takes super duper powers to look up prison inmate information. Okay, and lo and behold, guess what else? Just like she said, nursing licensure information is public information. It is. So I'll pose this question because we know that are watching this entertainment that even if your license, your healthcare license, your nursing license, your professional license, even if you are, quote, retired, it still shows up and it will say inactive, it will say whatever, but it will still be listed. So I'm just wondering, because I just don't think that type of Southern ignorance comes out of an educated mouth at all. So I'm just wondering if, since it is public information and all, and, I lived here for 48 years, I can do what I want to do. Okay, well, that license should be public information too. Would everybody agree? Would everybody agree? Or, if you're not telling the truth, you probably don't find anything there when you search it. So maybe, I'm just saying, because, I thought about that. I thought, how did this ever participate in the healthcare field? I don't know. Maybe it was before the drugs. I don't know. But active, inactive, retired, there's still a record of that license. So, but in some people's heads, they think that if 70-year-olds are deemed due to be thrown in the nursing home at that point, maybe she just visits and that's her idea of what a nurse is called. I don't know. I'm just asking. Because there are most of us that are educated and it can be found very easily. So, anything else? Does anybody have anything? Somebody say something to make me laugh. But literally, I was laughing for an hour. Forever. And then all I could do was grab something to write it down on. So, and I might just write some type of blog. I'm trying to figure it out. But we were talking about it today because it is an interesting topic between what is Southern ignorance and what is considered just Southern heritage. And I think I have a pretty good grasp on that concept. And, 3 dressed up like Dale Earnhardt, you might have a little bit of Southern ignorance in you. And don't get me wrong, I love the races. But that goes back to what I said, how the races and then letting the races define your life, are two different things. When who records mine? And look, I don't know. You want to come on whoever this nut crack is? Because you are a nut crack. Because, it's okay. They'll give out mine. That's probably what's coming next. Go ahead. No, I'm not telling you to give out my children's names. But they've already told where mine were. But, I'm not really the parent, although I do consider it harassment if it is done to me. That doesn't mean that I couldn't laugh when it was done to somebody else because it was funny about the yard sale. But if it is done to me, then I'm not worried about my children being on a video. What I would be concerned about more than that, not their faces being shown in the public, would be the maliciousness of the person doing it. So, I hope that answers your question. Oh, my children's college, he goes to Auburn. They already gave it out. They've been in inboxes forever. He's at Auburn. He's at Auburn. But like I said, do I laugh at that happening to someone else? Yes, because they're out in the front yard. There's a difference between taking a public video and intentionally and maliciously, because someone is exercising their freedom of speech, maliciously targeting children. Those are two different things. So, but, ooh, the jealousy runs deep. And I can't help it. You got to work. You got to take care of your family. So, let me look at these real quick. So, yeah. They've made it clear. Let me make this statement extremely clear. They have made it clear that if people don't stop talking, they are going to continue to harass people. And when you talk, there's a difference between talking and harassing people. What she is doing, if that is happening right now, is intentionally and maliciously trying to harm my children. Because if you didn't notice, did I put out any personal information on her children? No. Or any of these people's children? No. But see, she can't stop. So, that's what I'm saying. Let them keep going. Because there is this little thing, and this one right here, I have the means to go to wherever I need to go for even misdemeanors if it is considered harassment. So, but I don't think that there's a huge difference about talking about Southern ignorance versus Southern heritage and maliciously and on purpose trying to harm someone's life and someone's family and someone's children. I hope y'all understand the difference. Because there are so many people that don't. Oh, and then we're going to play one more game. Everybody, okay, we're going to hit the live button. We're going to hit the live button and say, where will the next destination be? Because it's coming. And then there's one more. So you can say two things when you hit the live button. Where's the next destination? And You know that extension cord? Everybody raise their hand if they know about the extension cord. What, she won't stop till she's arrested? Well, that's her own stupidness. I mean, I can't help her. I mean, again, that's ignorance. I mean, if you're that malicious and that hateful that you have to continue to hurt children as you're screaming other people's children are getting hurt, as you're lying about what's occurring, you know, that's not my problem. Okay, so the one thing is the location. And then the second thing is everybody knows about the extension cord. So I thought about this too. This is what I want to know. So I want to know what y'all think. That makes no sense to you. It makes no sense to me either, but you have to understand that it's so far gone that that's all they will do. And there are no boundaries. None. So as they scream, shut the fuck up, then they put out information that can harm and hurt families and children and make their little phone calls all over the place. Okay, no, don't put it here. Don't put here what color. This is the next question. So it's where, and it is, I want to know what everyone thinks. What color is the extension cord? What color is the extension cord? Right, they did do it to the firefighter guy, and I have that, and that was Patricia Horton, Misty, NJ, and whoever else was in that other inbox, because I will tell you, in about 2.2 seconds, they had everything you can imagine on that man. He is right with them, but, you know, whatever. I mean, but I'm just telling y'all that's how, I mean, they had Google, they went straight to Google, and they went to Googling. And all the way from his name to his Facebook to his occupation to everything in literally less than 5 minutes. So, and I know this because it was put in, the information was screenshotted and put, and his Facebook page was put in a message to me, and the question was, I don't think this is him, is this him? So, yes, question number 2 is what color is the extension cord? And let me give you your options, because we know that there is a brown extension cord, which we all know would usually probably be an indoor extension cord. And then, actually there's 4 options. Then there is a green extension cord, but there's also, at Christmas time, we all know you can buy a green indoor-outdoor extension cord. So that would be an option too. You could have the Christmas, it could be the Christmas green indoor-outdoor. But then the last one is, okay. The last one is the orange, the heavy-duty orange. So you can make it twofold, the length and the color. And I'm hoping that there was enough sense when they invested in this that it's the orange, because I think that extension cord has taken a lot of back and forth. And let's just remember, it wasn't me. The entire world was said that told that I was on drugs, and my child was lied about a story that Justin told that was completely and totally not true. And they wanted to summon CPS to my house, which, you know, whatever. So I'm sure that will probably be their next move. But I will be traveling soon, as soon as I can get some time. So, I mean, and I want y'all to think about something really quickly. What if I had given them, think about this, what if I had just in passing, like, because it was an exciting time, I had said, oh my gosh, look at the apartment I just got for my son in Auburn. And that's just a simple, you're sharing, an excitement. Let me tell you what they would be doing with that right now. They would be putting his address out online and think that it's perfectly fine because it's quote unquote public. Well, first of all, his wouldn't be public, but that's what we got going on here with this Southern ignorance. And Southern ignorance rocks the orange jumpsuit, just like, our prisons and our county jails are so full in the South of Southern ignorance that and it's like a revolving door. And it's stuff like, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. You ain't gonna make me shut the fuck up. You do this and I'm gonna do that. And really? Yeah, that's what fills up. That's what fills up those county jails. Because when people tell you to stop and not to do something, and they continue to do it on and on and on and on, and do it maliciously and lie and lie and lie and lie, and not only hurt you but hurt your family. Yeah, you just got to have the means to get there to sign that little affidavit. So traveling is on my agenda. We might do it live. I don't know. So y'all have a good night. I'm going to find a song. Do you think they had the stuff on the ground during the yard sale, or do you think they actually could maneuver getting a table to put it on? I'm just curious. So if you have the video, I would love to see it. I'm not interested in seeing children. That's not why I want to see it. I want to see this entertainment. I don't want to see pictures of children. I want to see the entertainment of how they had this stuff laid out. And it was public because even from the street, you could videotape. And folks, that is the difference. And somebody asked me, what if somebody videotaped my children if it was in a public place? And I'm sure they have been videotaped. Nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. I don't know, freak out, do whatever. But that's just something that can give them a reason to scream, yell, holler, and raise a bunch of Southern ignorance hell about. But, when they say, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do, it's perfectly fine, they think. I'm getting it. Just hold on 1 second. So War Eagle. I'm not a War Eagle fan. But when you're jealous that someone else's child is in pre-vet school, so go ahead, call the pre-vet, call the vet school. Then, I just don't even know what to tell you. Or that somebody can actually afford to send their children to college. That's a bunch of Southern ignorance, too. You got one of them sitting over there, not even knowing. What is it?
Can I go see Bella? She moved into her new house today.
Yes. Just text me, please. Okay. So I hope y'all see the difference. I think we'll do this. I think this is funny. All right. It took me a second. And I got to go get this food ready. Okay, here we go. We're going to end with this. Y'all have a good night. Come on.
CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. Volumizes like the #1 prestige mascara with lashes full and defined in one coat. Exhibitionist
Okay,
Mascara
y'all have a good night.
from CoverGirl.
This is about to play.
Hey Google, show me the backyard. The Gingerbread Man.
That's gonna be. I didn't want that one. Hold on, guys. I didn't want that one. That was too long. Hold on.
An old lady
Hold on.
and an old man lived in a little house by
Y'all don't want to
themselves.
hear the gingerbread
They had
man.
no children, and they felt very lonely and sad at times.
I hope y'all
It
think
gets
this
so
is
boring
funny.
with just the two of us. You were
I hope y'all think this is funny.
All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. A penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel. All around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. Penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel. All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. A penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel. All around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the